Hello students, this is the part 1 video for chapter number 6 from civics. As we have to write down the glossary, it is already given in your textbook. You can see from the textbook itself. Here I am reading out the glossary. First one is accused. In this, the context of the chapter, this refers to a person who is tried by a court for a crime. Next is cognizable. In the context of this chapter, this refers to an offence for which the police may arrest a person without the permission of the court. Next one we are having cross-examine. In the context of this chapter, this refers to the questioning of an witness who has already been examined by the opposing side in order to determine the veracity of his or her testimony. Next is detention. In the context of this chapter, this refers to the act of being kept in illegal custody by the police. Impartial, the act of being fair or just and not favoring one side over another. Offense, any act that the law defines as a crime. Next is to be charged of a crime. This refers to the trial judge informing the accused in writing of the offense for which he or she will face trial. Next and the last one we are having, that is witness. In the context of this chapter, this refers to the person who is called upon in court to provide a first-hand account of what he or she has seen, heard or know. So this you have to write down in FNB before starting down the chapter after writing down the heading. So let's start our chapter. In the 5th chapter, we have learned about the judiciary. Now here we are going to understand our criminal justice system. When we see someone violating the law, we immediately think of informing the police. You might have seen either in real life or in the movie, police officers filing reports and arresting persons. Because of the role played by the police is arresting person, we often get confused and think that it is the police who decide whether a person is guilty or not. This, however, is far from the truth. After a person is arrested, it is a court of law that decides whether the accused person is guilty or not. According to the Constitution, every individual charged of a crime has to be given a fair trial. So, do you know what it means to get a fair trial? Have you heard of an FIR, or do you know who a public prosecutor is? In this chapter, we use a fictional case of theft to try and highlight the process as well as the role of the different individuals in the criminal justice system. Most cases go through a process that is similar to the one discussed in our fictional case. Therefore, understanding this process as well as the role that different persons should play within the criminal justice system is crucial, so that if ever the occasion should arise, you are aware of the process that should be followed. So, in short, we are going to learn about the criminal justice system. As in the first paragraph, it is given like we most probably see the police officers arrest a person and send him in jail, or put the accused in the jail, and we think that the police is the person who is giving away the punishment or punishing the culprit or the accused person, but it is not true completely. In the previous chapter also we have learned, when the law is being framed, punishment is also being written along with that, and the judiciary is punishing away the person who is violating away the law. That commonly we have learned in previous chapter. So here also judiciary is having the part to punish, or to say, or to decide whether the person is guilty or not. And directly he cannot, or the judiciary cannot say the person is guilty or not. There is certain kind of process. The accused is represented in front of court, and he is given a fair trial. So every individual, according to the constitution, should get this chance, that is fair trial. Now, what is mean by fair trial? Or you have ever heard of FIR? FIR already we have known about it. That is first information report. About that and fair trial, that we are going to learn, and that we are going to learn from a fictional story that is being created to understand the topic well. What is fair trial, and what is FIR, what is the role of the judiciary and the public prosecutor. About them we are going to know in this chapter from the fictional stories. So here is a court scene. I plead not guilty and I claim trial. Over here, here the person who is in court, she is asking, and she is urging to the judge that she is not guilty and I claim a trial. So she is asking for a fair trial. Let us understand it better in this story, what the case is being given over here. So it is the incident about 18/7/2006. At their apartment in Mumbai, Mrs. Shinde is getting dressed. She has been frantically searching for her gold chain for over an hour. So here what is she thinking? That she is sure that it was in drawer. She has kept in drawer where it could be. She was asking herself. Meanwhile, her husband calls her and asks her to hurry up, that they are getting late for the wedding. And for reply, she said, "I can't find my gold chain." Means she is not able to find her gold chain. It's not in drawer where I have kept, and she is suspecting Shanti may have stolen the chain. She always spends a long time dusting the room, her room. So she is suspecting Shanti that she would have taken. Now, who is Shanti? Shanti Abraham has been working in the house for past 3 years. So she is a domestic worker in their house. The owner, mainly Mrs. Shinde, asked directly to Shanti, "Have you begun to steal now? That too also gold chain?" She was constantly blaming Shanti and asking her to bring her trunk so she could search the chain in it. And also she informed Shanti that she has called the police. So if the chain, if she has taken, then return it as soon as possible. But Shanti in return, she replied that she haven't stolen the chain. Now Mr. Shinde searches Shanti's trunk as she has brought in front of them and finds an envelope that was having 10,000 in it. So he started screaming on Shanti, saying that where the money come from, she got from by what, by selling the chain she got the 10,000 rupees. So they both, Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, both are blaming Shanti that she could have sold the chain, and for that she got 10,000 rupees. Now in reply, Shanti informed her owner that Sahab, that my brother have been, means Shanti's brother have been saving this money over from last 1 year. And what is the reason to save this money? To buy a bull in their village, and she is innocent. So she was informing all the detail that where does she got this 10,000 rupees. So Mr. Shinde has come to the police station to complain about Shanti, and he is informing the police officer that I have came here to file an FIR. There was theft in my, means his house, and his maid Shanti has stolen his wife's necklace. So he informed the police, and police said yes. Sub Inspector S.I. Rao records Mr. Shinde's FIR. So he was writing down each and every detail what was being shared by Mr. Shinde. Mr. Shinde returns with Sub Inspector Rao to his home. Police started investigating to Shanti, and he is informing her that he is going to write down in the statement that Mr. and Mrs. Shinde make about this theft. Let me seal the envelope what they got from her trunk, and the money, and take it with me as evidence. So the Mr. Rao, mainly the sub inspector, is taking that envelope as evidences against the Shanti. Now also he was arresting Shanti, taking her to the police station. Shanti replied, please don't let him take me, and pleaded to owner that ask police inspector not to take her, as she has not stolen the chain. This is her earned money, and whatever both the brother and sister have saved to buy a bull, but nobody heard her. Sushil, the Shanti's brother, arrived and pleaded with S.I. Rao to release Shanti. So when the brother came to know that her sister Shanti was arrested for the chain that has been stolen, so he went to the police station, pleaded to police officer S.I. Rao to release her as she is innocent. But police informed Sushil that she was being arrested for the gold chain what he has stolen, and go to the court if you want to get her release, means bail order. So bail order is a process where the person can just get released from the jail, and for that where they have to file a petition, that is to the court. So from the court order only the Shanti can get released. But where will I get the money to hire a lawyer, and who will stand as surety for her? You have taken all of our savings and sealed it. So in return, Sushil asked S.I. Rao that from where he can hire a lawyer, because to hire a lawyer they need money, and to pay the fees of lawyer, and even to get bail, anyone's surety is needed. Like if she is getting bail, she is not allowed to leave the city, and if she is just running off somewhere else, then the person who is giving the assurance or surety, he has to pay the money of penalty, whatever it is being written when she is getting the bail. So he is saying, informing the SI Rao that whatever savings what they were having, already it is being sealed and it is kept by use, and from where they are going to get the money. SI Rao forcibly keeps Sushil in the police station for 2 days. Sushil is abused and beaten by SI Rao and other police constables. They try and make him confess that he and his sister Shanti had a gang of domestic servants that have stolen jewelry from other homes. There have been other complaints of theft of jewelry from Shinde neighborhood. As Sushil keeps repeating that he is an innocent factory worker, the police let him go after 2 days. So for 2 days, Sushil was being kept in police station. He was being beaten by SI Rao and other police constables. He was constantly confessing that her sister and his sister and himself are innocent, but nobody heard their plea. And even SI Rao claimed and blamed that the sister and the Shanti and Sushil both are running or heading a gang of domestic servants, and their work is to steal the jewelry from whichever home they are working. So this was being informed, and other complaints also they got from the neighborhood of Mr. and Mrs. Shinde that their jewelry also was being stolen. But after keeping Sushil for 2 days in jail, he was being released, as he was constantly claiming that he was innocent. But he was released after being beaten severely. Now this is the date 23rd 8 August 2006. Although the court granted bail to Shanti after a month, so for a month she was being kept in jail, she was unable to get anyone to stand surety for her rupees 20,000. She therefore continued to be jailed. She is very traumatized. She is worried about what will happen during the trial. So here, though she got the bail, later on again she was put into the jail as she was not getting surety who can assure that for 20,000. So again, already she spent 1 month in jail, and again she was kept in jail, and she was very much worried about the trial, what is going to happen, and she was very afraid and as well as traumatized. So she is thinking over here, what will happen to me? I haven't done anything wrong, and yet I am being behind bar just because madam suspect me, and the money that we have been saving will ever get it back. So here you can see in 14th August 9th month, that is September 2006. After 1 month, Shanti was being arrested. The police files a charge sheet in magistrate court. The court gives a copy of charge sheet including the statement of witnesses to the Shanti. Shanti tells the court that she has no lawyer to defend her against this false case of theft. So here she informed the court that she was not having any lawyer that can defend her. That the false case what was being claimed on her. The magistrate appoints advocate Kamla Roy as an Shanti's defense lawyer at the government expenses. Now why she was provided the lawyer by the government expenses? So you can see over here, this is the article. According to the article 22 of the Constitution, every person has a fundamental right to be defended by a lawyer. Article 39A of the Constitution places a duty upon the state to provide a lawyer to any citizen who is unable to engage one due to the poverty or other disability. So because of this article from the Constitution, that is Article 22, under this every person's fundamental right is to provide a lawyer if he is unable, as he is poor or any other because of any other disability he was not able to hire a lawyer. So whose duty is to provide the lawyer to the citizen? That is state's duty to provide in its own expense, provide a lawyer to the citizen. So this is under the Article 22. 2. So as you can see, the state has provided a lawyer to Shanti on government's expense. Advocate Kamla Roy meets Shanti in the court, and she just asked the detail about the case. What is here are my case papers. I have been falsely accused of stealing my employer gold chain, Shanti informed the Kamla Roy. And Sushil also informed the thing that they found 10,000 in Shanti's trunk and said that this was the money she got from stealing the chain, but that is the money that we have saving up together. So this detail was informed to Kamla Roy. So by 11:12 that you can see when was the case started and when they were being presented in the court. So 11 December, that is 2006, the court frames a charge of theft of Mrs. Shinde gold chain and possession of money rupees 10,000 got from selling stolen property against Shanti. So here she just pleaded in front of judge that I plead guilty and I claim trial. So trial means to just prove that she is innocent. The court has to hear both those who have claimed and those who is innocent, like Shanti, and the judge has to hear both the side, Mr. and Mrs. Shinde's side also, and Shanti and Sushil side also. So without hearing them, they cannot just directly give away their judgment. Mainly the judge cannot give away the judgment. So he has to hear both the side. So here, as he pleaded for the trial, the magistrate has given the date, the other date. That next date they got was on the 8th of March 2007. So it was started from 2006 and this is the new year, next year. So almost 6 to 7 months after she got arrested. The public prosecutor appears in the case on behalf of the state. He presents Mrs. and Mrs. Shinde as a key witness. So public prosecutor appears and he says that my key witnesses are Mr. and Mrs. Shinde. So he started this investigation, asking the question around, like they just ask the detail to the accused person also and those who have complained also. So here he has started asking questions. So tell me, Mrs. Shinde, how did the gold chain go missing? So he was asking to Mrs. Shinde. So Shinde informed that she has kept the chain in drawer. Shanti has stolen it. No other outsider came except the Shanti in the room. Mrs. Shinde searched the trunk and she was shocked to find the 10,000 rupees in an envelope. And she is claiming that the Shanti got this money from selling the gold chain and she is thief. So she has given her statement. Next, advocate, that is Roy's turn, cross-examine the prosecution witness, that is Mrs. Shinde. So she is cross-examining Mrs. Shinde, whatever statement she has given, because she is from the defense side, that is she is defending the Shanti. Here she is cross-examining and asking the question to Mrs. Shinde. So what you are basically saying is that you did not see Shanti stealing the chain. So here Miss Roy asked the Mrs. Shinde that whether she has seen Shanti stealing the chain or not. So in short, she has not seen, she is just claiming or blaming on her. Nor did you recover the chain on Shanti, and even the chain was not found in Shanti's truck, only they found is 10,000 rupees. Also, Shanti was being working in Mrs. Inde's home for over 3 years, and till then nothing was stolen from their house. And even she was paying 1,000 rupees as salary to Shanti every month. Next date they got, that is 20 April 2007. Advocate Roy examined Sushil and his employer as defense witness. Through their testimony, she is able to show that the 10,000 found in Shanti's trunk could well be earned of Sushil and Shanti. So this 1 month salary she is getting 1,000, and for over 3 years if they are working in Mrs. Shinde's home, so she can earn nearly 30,000 in 3 years. And even Sushil was working in factory, so he can also save. If 500 rupees on they are saving, they both together, then this the 10,000 money could be saved by both of them. So Mrs. Roy proved that this money was being not what they are having. Was not within them because of they have sold the chain. So this she has proved in the court. So up to here the case we came to know. The other story we will cover up in the next part of video. Up to here, whatever topic we have completed, complete the worksheet up till here. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.